Think of a master teacher. The teacher explains the lesson, guides the students, and answers their questions. But when the test begins, the teacher becomes silent. This silence is not a sign of abandonment. It is a sign of trust. It is the space given for the student to apply what they have learned, to prove their understanding, to grow into their own knowledge. Or consider a loving parent teaching a child to walk. There comes a moment when the parent must let go of the child's hands. In that small, terrifying gap, the child wobbles, perhaps even falls. But it is in that very space of release that the child discovers their own strength, their own balance, their own ability to stand. Could it be that divine silence is often an invitation, a sacred space created for us to grow? It represents a profound shift in our relationship with the divine. It is a movement away from a faith that depends on constant answers and affirmations, and a movement toward a faith that builds our character. The silence forces us to stop listening for a voice in the thunder and to start listening for the still, small voice within. It compels us to move beyond simply asking for directions and to start developing our own spiritual compass, one that points toward trust even when the path is completely dark. This wilderness of silence, while painful, serves powerful and transformative purposes. It is in this place that God forges a truly unbreakable faith. A faith that is based on pleasant feelings, constant blessings, and answered prayers is a fragile thing. It can be shattered by the first sign of trouble. But a faith that survives the silence, a faith that chooses to trust in the dark, becomes resilient, flexible, and strong. It is a faith that relies not on external evidence, but on the internal conviction of God's unchanging character. This is a faith that says, even if I don't feel you, I know you are here. Even if I don't see your hand, I trust your heart. Secondly, this season develops profound spiritual maturity. Comfort rarely produces character. It is the struggle, the waiting, the longing that builds virtues like patience, perseverance, and deep, heartfelt empathy. When you have walked through the valley of silence, you gain a unique ability to sit with others in their own pain without needing to offer easy answers. Your suffering becomes a wellspring of compassion. You learn to be still, to endure, and to hope against all hope. And thirdly, the silence purifies our motives. When we pray and receive no immediate reward, no instant comfort, no miraculous sign, we are forced to confront a crucial question. Do we seek God for His blessings, or do we seek Him simply for His presence? Are we in a relationship with the giver, or are we just interested in the gifts? The silence strips away the transactional nature of our faith. It burns away the impurities, leaving only a pure desire for God Himself. In this wilderness, our spiritual roots are forced to grow deeper, pushing through dry ground in search of living water, making us stronger and more grounded than we could ever be in a season of endless rain. And you must know, you are not the first to walk this silent path. You are, in fact, in the company of giants. Think of Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and forgotten in a prison cell. For 13 years, the promise God had given him in his youth must have seemed like a cruel joke. The silence from heaven must have been deafening. Yet, in that silence, God was not absent. He was positioning him, preparing him, shaping a bitter, betrayed boy into a wise and forgiving leader who would save a nation. Consider David. He was anointed by the prophet Samuel to be the next king of Israel, a man after God's own heart. What followed was not a coronation, but years of running for his life, hiding in desolate caves, and being hunted like an animal by the reigning king. Where was God in those silent, lonely nights? He was there, in the darkness of the cave, listening to David's psalms of lament and trust, forging the heart of a true king, not in a palace, but in the wilderness. And most profoundly, think of Jesus himself hanging on the cross, bearing the weight of all humanity's brokenness. In his greatest moment of agony, he cried out the ultimate question of the silent soul, my God, why have you forsaken me?" In that moment, the son experienced the very silence that we so often fear. These stories are not just ancient tales of suffering. They are powerful testaments to a deep spiritual truth. God's greatest work in our lives is often done in the periods where He seems most distant. Their silence was not the end of their story. It was the necessary prelude to their deliverance, their resurrection, and their ultimate purpose. So what are we to do when we find ourselves in this season? The invitation is to stop fighting the silence. Stop striving, stop begging, stop demanding an answer. Instead, lean into it. Be still. See this season not as an empty void, but as a sacred pause. Consider it holy ground. This is a time of deep, unseen work. Your character is being sculpted by a master artist. Your faith is being refined in a purifying fire. Your spirit is being prepared for the next beautiful chapter of your story. The silence does not mean your story is over. It is the deep, quiet breath before the symphony begins. It is the tension in the string just before the perfect note is played. Trust the process. Trust the silence. For when God is silent, He is not absent. He is working. He is closer than you could ever imagine, weaving a story of redemption and strength that will, in time, be revealed in glorious light. If this message resonated with you today in your own season of quiet struggle, please let it be a source of hope. Like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content that explores the deeper journey of faith. And please share this video with someone you know who might be feeling alone in the silence. In the comments below, share a single word that describes how you've learned to see God's silence. Your story could be the light that someone else needs. Thank you for listening. Be patient with yourself and trust that even in this you are not alone. Have you ever cried out to God, your voice breaking, your heart laid bare, only to be met with a profound and deafening silence? You stand in the middle of your storm, your trial, your illness, your loss, and the heavens feel as though they have turned to brass. This silence is a unique kind of pain. It doesn't roar like a storm, it suffocates like a vacuum. It can feel like rejection, a cold cosmic shoulder, a sign that you are utterly alone, or worse,